Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Crafting Saturday. This is Leslie Watkins at Dandelion Cottage, and today I'm going to be using a special new stamp and die set. So I hope you're well. This is an idea that I've had rolling around in the back of my mind since I got this set, but I haven't actually tried it out. So you're going to be following along as I figure out how to use this special die set. So let me show you what it looks like. The stamps are called Quiet Meadow. Let me zoom you in a little bit. And they look like this. But it's the dies that have me really interested. So these are called Meadow dies, and there's a lot of them. Let's see how many. There are 13, and they are all these different flower shapes, which I thought were really intriguing. There's a little butterfly, a couple of labels, but all these beautiful long flower shapes, and then there are some flower centers here. I really like that they included a half butterfly as well, so that you could get some perspective on the butterfly. So this is going to be a lot of fun to play with. But before I cut them out, I want to do a little bit of prep work. So I'm going to run real fast and get some water because I forgot. Hang on. Okay, so I've got a little tub of water here. This is just a pint-sized deli container. And I have some of my inks, and they are in this little plastic palette. I'm just going to pop the lid off very carefully so the ink doesn't go flying. There we go. Okay. And I have a piece of the Fluid 100 watercolor paper, and this piece is cut down to 5 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to get out my water painters for this. Okay. Hi Kelly, hi Linda, Ginger. Nice to see you all here. Now the first thing I have to do is figure out where my yellow is. So there's my yellow. Okay, I have my colors arranged chromatically. So this then, let's see. Yeah, okay, so that's the top. And then over here, I have some green. Okay, I'm actually going to use my flat water painter for this. So this is the one that has the flat brush. I'm just going to get the water flowing here. There we go. And I'm just going to moisten this paper because I want to create a wash on it. There we go. And let's see. That's Night of Navy. Let me see if I've got another blue in here. That looks like Bermuda Bay. Let me mix those together. we go. Just want to get a little kind of a sky tone going. And then I'm just going to take different colors and just kind of create little splotches here and there. So some yellow, some red, and maybe some violet. Oh, that's green. Okay. Put this down here. And I'll mix some violet. So if I take some blue and some red, let's see, what do I have there? Let me get a test sheet. I'm just looking for a scrap piece of paper here. Not the color I'm looking for. Let me see. Just going to clean up my palette. Okay, that must be a different red than what I thought. I'm going to grab my other palette. This is what happens when you don't mark what you put in the wells. But I'm looking for something violet, so some red. There we go. A little more red. Okay. And then I want some more of that green. Okay, so now I'm going to put this aside to dry a little bit while I'm getting the card ready. And I'm going to carefully put back all of these inks. Oops, wrong lid. Okay. There we go. Now I also have a card base in Very Vanilla, and I've got a piece of old olive cardstock, and this is cut to 5 1/4 by 4. This is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, so there's a nice border around. This is going to be a horizontal card. And I'm going to I want to do something else. I want to add a dragonfly. And for the dragonfly, I'm going to be using some vellum. And all of these materials are available in my online store, and I will post all of that after I do the video later today. I'm just getting out my stamp pad here, and let's see which one. I think I'll use this one. And okay, I've got crumb cake. I want something lighter. I'm going to grab my Sahara sand. Okay. Woo, okay. Fumble fingers. Get that lined up. Okay. So there's my dragonfly. I think you can see that. And the little one. And now I want to put some Wink of Stella on here. So I'm just going to test a little bit, because I think if yeah, I'm going to do it on the reverse side. And that way the image won't run. So I'm just going to cover that whole thing. Wink of Stella. Okay. Put that aside to dry. And then I'm going to get out my cut and emboss machine. Uh-oh, it looks like you froze here. There we go. On my end, the screen froze. I don't know if it froze from your viewpoint. All right, so here is the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now let's see what we can do with these dies. I have to put this in like that. There's so many to choose from. I want to be careful taking them off of here that I don't bend them. All right, so there's one. There's two. There's three. That looks pretty good. I wonder if I could squeeze one more in. Okay, I guess that works out pretty well. Just like that. All right, let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. And I'm just going to go back the other way just to make sure that I get cut through this heavy watercolor paper. They're so delicate. I love how thin all these stems are, but I want to be very careful that I don't tear any. Okay, let's see what these look like. I think I want to try a different color. This is mint macaron. I'm going to switch that out. So I want this to be 4 by 5 1/4. Perfect. Okay. Get my dies put back in the package before they end up in my waste paper basket. It's always a fear of mine. Does anybody go through your trash before you throw it away for fear of having something valuable down at the bottom of the basket? I do that every time. All right, so I'm using my Tombow glue, and I'm just going to go around the edges here. And I want to be sure Oh, this is the one that's running out. I want to be sure that I get all these places so that these don't flap up. And I'm just dotting around these little areas. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now when I place this onto my mat here, I want to be, actually I'm going to use my tweezers for this because I want to have a lot of control. So I'm going to start at the top. Get that centered on there. And what I'm being careful to do is to keep these in their proper position so that they don't squeeze in on themselves. Okay, I'm just going to give that a second to set up because I don't want that to shift at all. And my card base, let me get some glue on here. Alright, so there is the beginning of the card. Now what I want to do is I'm getting out my mini dimensionals. I also have some dimensionals that I've cut very thinly. Let's see, where are my minis? Here they are. Alright, so now the tricky part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these cutouts back into place, but I want to keep the stems towards the edges glued down. So I'm going to glue those flat because I don't want those lifting off when people are handling the car. I think it'll just help it to be a little more stable. So the first thing I'm going to do is to just get my flowers popped up. This is going to take a little time because these things are so tiny. Alright, and then I can use one of those skinny ones. A leaf. There we go. And then I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue just to hold this skinny stem down in place. Ooh, these are teeny tiny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip a couple of these minis in half. Just go straight up the middle of them. Excuse me if I get my head in the way. This is very fine work here. Oops, that's not a half a one. I need a half a one. There we go. Okay, and then one of these. It's too long. Okay, I have to snip this. All right, you just have to take your time to get all those little places. I'm just running a little bit of glue on the bottom of the stem. Get that in there. There we go. Right, now this one, I can fit. This is the hardest part of the whole card. You need nerves of steel. Okay, I think I'm good there. Peel off the backings. There we go. All right. If you don't have a pair of these tweezers, you need a pair of these tweezers for these times when you